woke up early, the city still asleep. The mirror showed a face I had to keep. My hands were shaking when I made the call. The words came out so quiet, barely at all. I said I'm ready, but I wasn't sure. I practiced this 100 times before. The clock was ticking, counting down the fear. Every second felt like one more year. But I stepped out anyway, into the morning gray. I told myself this time I wouldn't walk away. My hands were shaking, but my heart stood still. I found the courage buried underneath the hill. I didn't need the crowd to say my name was good. I only needed me to do the things I could. My hands were shaking, and that's perfectly fine. Every tremble was a step across the line. I held my breath and let the moment break. My hands were shaking, but I stayed awake. The second chapter looked a lot like this. The same blank walls, the same thing I dismissed. But this time something shifted in my chest. I stopped comparing me to all the rest. I wrote it down, I said it out loud. I wasn't trying to impress the crowd. Just me and the morning and a brand new page. Just me and my fear and a quiet stage. I stepped into the light without a guarantee. I only knew that I was finally free. My hands were shaking, but my heart stood still. I found the courage buried underneath the hill. I didn't need the crowd to say my name was good. I only needed me to do the things I could. My hands were shaking, and that's perfectly fine. Every tremble was a step across the line. I held my breath and let the moment break. My hands were shaking, but I stayed awake. And if I fall again tomorrow morning, I'll remember how the ground felt calling. I will rise up from the floor and choose. Not every battle means that someone has to lose. I'll be gentle when the doubt comes creeping in. I'll remind myself that trying is a win. My hands were shaking, but my heart stood still. I found the courage buried underneath the hill. Oh, I didn't need the crowd to say my name was good. I only needed me to do the things I could. My hands were shaking, and that's perfectly fine. Every tremble was a step across the line. I held my breath and let the moment break. My hands were shaking, but I stayed awake. My hands were shaking, my hands were shaking. Yeah, they still might shake, but every morning is a chance I'll take. I'll keep on building something worth the wait. My hands were shaking, but I showed up great. The city lights are fading one by one. I'm sitting with the version of me I've become. No crowd to cheer, no hand to hold tonight. Just me and the work I chose to get right. I poured another cup and let the silence in. I thought about how far I've traveled and how thin the margin was between giving up and staying. But here I am, still here and still displaying all the hours no one saw me pour. Every doubt I locked behind that door. Still here after midnight, I'm still in the ring. Still here after midnight, still building my thing. Nobody clocked the hours that I kept, nobody counted every night I wept. Still here after midnight with no audience around. I built the life I wanted from the ground. Still here after midnight, and I'm doing just fine. The only one I needed was this version of mine. They said I moved too slow, I moved too quiet, like building something solid was a riot. But I knew what every early morning cost. I knew exactly what I gained and what I'd lost. The late calls stopped, the social feeds went cold, but what I was constructing was more gold than anything I chased. When I was chasing crowds, now I walk beneath a different set of clouds. All the sacrifice that no one saw. Every time I pick myself up from the floor. Still here after midnight, I'm still in the ring. Still here after midnight, still building my thing. Nobody clocked the hours that I kept, nobody counted every night I wept. Still here after midnight with no audience around. I built the life I wanted from the ground. Still here after midnight, and I'm doing just fine. The only one I needed was this version of mine. And when they finally see what I have made, they won't know the nights that didn't fade. They won't know the times I nearly let it go. They'll only see the harvest, not the seeds I had to sow. But that's okay, because I know the truth. I paid the cost right there in that back room. Still here after midnight, I'm still in the ring. Still here after midnight, still building my thing. Nobody clocked the hours that I kept, nobody counted every night I wept. Still here after midnight with no audience around. I built the life I wanted from the ground. Still here after midnight, and I'm doing just fine. The only one I needed was this version of mine. Still here, still here, still right here. Building, building, building what I never said out loud. Still here after midnight, and it's clear I don't need the noise, I just need the crowd inside. I stood outside that building for an hour. I memorized every line, held on to my power. Pressed the button, heard the silence on the end. They said not this time, and I tried to comprehend. I walked back to the car and sat in the parking lot. Counted what I had and counted what I'd got. And what I got was one more lesson filed away. The door didn't open, but I didn't go away. 'Cause every door that doesn't swing my way is just redirecting where I'm going anyway. heard has led me closer to one. The door didn't open, I'm still standing out here. I'll find a window, find a crack, find something to make clear that the door didn't open, but I never stopped knocking. And while everyone was sleeping, I was quietly clocking. I sent the email, made the call, showed up prepared. I did the work while half the room didn't even care. I sat through interviews that felt like they were scripted wrong, but every painful question made my footing more strong. I kept a folder full of every letter that said no. I read them sometimes just to watch myself still go. I didn't need the validation from the other side. I just needed proof that I could manage my pride. And every door that didn't swing my way became the road that led to where I stand today. The door didn't open, another one will. I'm learning what it means to keep on walking uphill. The door didn't open, but that doesn't mean I'm done. Every no I've ever heard has led me closer to one. The door didn't open, I'm still standing out here. I'll find a window, find a crack, find something to make clear that the door didn't open, but I never stopped knocking. And while everyone was sleeping, I was quietly clocking. There's a version of the story where I quit, where I packed my things and said this doesn't fit, but I chose a different ending every single time. Every wall I faced became a reason to climb, so I'll keep my shoulder pressed against the wood, and I'll push until it gives the way it should. The door didn't open, another one will. I'm learning what it means to keep on walking uphill. The door didn't open, but that doesn't mean I'm done. Every no I've ever heard has led me closer to one. The door didn't open, I'm still standing out here. I'll find a window, find a crack, find something to make clear that the door didn't open, but I never stopped knocking. And while everyone was sleeping, I was quietly clocking. Another door will open, I believe it true. Every closed gate is a hallway leading through. I keep my head up, keep my hands at work, and let the ones who didn't see me watch me search. I used to wait until the timing felt right. I used to need the stars aligned before I tried. But the stars don't really care about my calendar, and the timing never showed up like I'd planned for her. So I laced my shoes on a Tuesday in the rain and walked out into all that ordinary pain. I didn't run, I barely managed moving straight. I learned to walk tired before I learned to navigate. They say rest before you start, I say that's fine, but I learned that moving tired draws the line. I learned to walk tired, to talk when I had nothing left. I learned to walk tired, to build with every labored breath. I learned to walk tired on the mornings I could not. I learned to walk tired through everything I'd got. 'Cause tired doesn't mean you stop, and broken doesn't mean the end. I learned to walk tired, and I'll walk tired again. I learned to walk tired through the mud when I hit the halfway point, the plan looked different from this angle at this joint. But something in me said to keep the feet in motion, that fatigue is just the price you pay for your devotion. So I kept my eyes down and my hands at work. I didn't advertise the aching or the hurt. I let the sweat do all the talking for my name, and every painful mile looked exactly like a game. They say you need your rest, and I agree, but tired taught me things that comfort couldn't see. I learned to walk tired, to talk when I had nothing left. I learned to walk tired, to build with every labored breath. I learned to walk tired on the mornings I could not. I learned to walk tired through everything I'd got. 'Cause tired doesn't mean you stop, and broken doesn't mean the end. I learned to walk tired, and I'll walk tired again. I learned to walk tired through the mud and through the years. I learned to walk tired through the laughter and the tears. There are people who are watching from the stands, who don't know what this cost, these empty hands. I'm not running to impress the ones who watch. I'm running for the version I'm becoming at this cost. Every step a quiet letter to the past, saying I was here and I intended this to last. I learned to walk tired, to talk when I had nothing left. I learned to walk tired, to build with every labored breath. I learned to walk tired on the mornings I could not. I learned to walk tired through everything I'd got. 'Cause tired doesn't mean you stop, and broken doesn't mean the end. I learned to walk tired, and I'll walk tired again. I learned to walk tired through the mud and through the years. I learned to walk tired through the laughter and the tears. Still walking, still moving, still here on this road. Still walking tired, but I'm carrying my own load. The miles don't scare me, I've done this before. I learned to walk tired, I'll keep walking more. There's a house on the edge of the town where I grew up. The paint's gone pale and the garden is all overgrown. I drove past it slowly on a Tuesday afternoon, and my chest felt the same as if I'd just come home. I remembered the winters, the kitchen, the yellow lamp, the way my mother hummed while setting up the food, the room that used to echo with everything we were. Now just a building nobody's walking through. And I don't say this with a heavy heart, I say it with the grace of knowing we've had our part. The room that used to echo holds the versions that we were. It holds the voices and the laughter and the blur. The room that used to echo with every ordinary day is why I hold the present in this extraordinary way. The room that used to echo doesn't ache the way it did. It's just a room that held a story of a kid. The room that used to echo is the place that gave me this, the gratitude I carry and the things I won't dismiss. I found an old photograph underneath the coat. My younger face was grinning in that kitchen we all loved, and I could see the whole world through the eyes of someone younger. Before the bills and distances and things we moved above, I didn't feel nostalgic in a way that pulled me back. I felt the warm, familiar shape of knowing where I'm from. The room that used to echo made me who I am today, and so I smiled and kept on driving toward what I'd become. And I don't hold the past like it was better then. I hold it like a letter from a very good old friend. The room that used to echo holds the versions that we were. It holds the voices and the laughter and the blur. The room that used to echo with every ordinary day is why I hold the present in this extraordinary way. The room that used to echo doesn't ache the way it did. It's just a room that held a story of a kid. The room that used to echo is the place that gave me this, the gratitude I carry and the things I won't dismiss. We are the rooms we grew inside. We carry every wall and every bright and dim divide. And when we walk out through the door for good, we take the echo with us like we always knew we would. So here's to every room that shaped a life. Here's to every ordinary morning in that light. The room that used to echo holds the versions that we were. It holds the voices and the laughter and the blur. The room that used to echo with every ordinary day is why I hold the present in this extraordinary way. The room that used to echo doesn't ache the way it did. It's just a room that held a story of a kid. The room that used to echo is the place that gave me this, the gratitude I carry and the things I won't dismiss. I'll carry you, old room, in everything I do. Every hall I walk today was practiced first in you. Thank you for the echo that still lives inside my chest. The room that used to echo gave me everything the best. The mug is on the desk again, gone cold. I meant to drink it too good hours ago. I got lost somewhere between the second page and every thought I didn't know how to cage. There's something funny about forgetting time when you're deep inside the middle of your mind. I sit back down and reach for what's gone cold and think about the story I've been told, that being lost inside your thoughts is just a sign that something bigger's cooking in the lines. Coffee going cold again, I'm in the flow. Coffee going cold again, there's something I need to know. Every cold cup is an hour that I've spent chasing something I didn't know I meant. Coffee going cold again, I'm following the thread, following the quiet conversations in my head. Coffee going cold again, and that's alright, 'cause the coldest cups have kept my warmest nights. I've left a trail of mugs across the years, each one a chapter I was working through in gears. The night before the big decision came, I let it cool and sat inside the flame of everything I felt I needed to address. Before I took another single step, I poured one for the version I'd become and left it on the windowsill until it was done. And being present in the present is the gift that every cooling cup of morning holds to lift. Coffee going cold again, I'm in the flow. Coffee going cold again, there's something I need to know. Every cold cup is an hour that I'll spend chasing something I didn't know I meant. Coffee going cold again, I'm following the thread, following the quiet conversations in my head. Coffee going cold again, and that's alright, 'cause the coldest cups have kept my warmest nights. Somebody told me I should set a timer, keep myself on track, be more of a climber. But I think there's wisdom in the losing track, in the way you circle forward, not just back. Give me every cold cup as a trophy, then a sign I was somewhere deep and then came back again. Coffee going cold again, I'm in the flow. Coffee going cold again, there's something I need to know. Every cold cup is an hour that I spent chasing something I didn't know I meant. Coffee going cold again, I'm following the thread, following the quiet conversations in my head. Coffee going cold again, and that's alright, 'cause the coldest cups have kept my warmest night. Cold coffee in the morning, cold coffee at night. Cold coffee is the proof that I was lost in the ride. I'll make another cup and see how long it lasts, before the thinking pulls me in and steals the flask. I didn't think I'd be here writing this, standing in a version of the life I didn't plan to miss. I had the other story all prepared to tell, with all its careful endings working out so well. But something steered me sideways on a winter afternoon, a conversation that I didn't plan to have too soon. And now I'm here, and here feels nothing like I thought. And here is the last thing I expected, but it's not. The last thing I expected came without a warning sign, but the last thing I expected turned out to be mine. The last thing I expected was a life this wide. The last thing I expected was this feeling inside. I had the blueprint memorized from start to finish clean, but the last thing I expected was the place I'd been. The last thing I expected was to find myself here on a Tuesday in November, in the best possible year. The last thing I expected was the truth of this moment. The last thing I expected was me finally owning it. There is a grace in the unanswered prayer, in the version of yourself you didn't know you'd wear. I've lost enough to know what loss can build, and I've been empty in the places I've been filled. I trusted something bigger than my small design plan. I trusted what I couldn't hold inside my hand. And so I show up with the palms open every day, ready for the last thing I expected to come my way. The last thing I expected was the gift I couldn't see, but the last thing I expected was the truest thing for me. The last thing I expected was a life this wide. The last thing I expected was this feeling inside. I had the blueprint memorized from start to finish clean, but the last thing I expected was the place I'd been. The last thing I expected truth of this moment. The last thing I expected was me finally owning it. So I let go of the plan I had. I let go of the good and the bad. I let go of the schedule and the route and found the last thing I expected. All throughout all the detours were the path all along. All the silence was the missing verse of the song. The last thing I expected was a life this wide. The last thing I expected was this feeling inside. I had the blueprint memorized from start to finish clean, but the last thing I expected was the place I'd been. The last thing I expected was to find myself here on a Tuesday in November, in the best possible year. The last thing I expected was the truth of this moment. The last thing I expected was me finally owning it. The last thing I expected, it was always this. The last thing I expected is what I wouldn't miss. I'm here, and here is where I was meant to be. The last thing I expected was the best for me. They didn't watch the sessions and the unsent drafts. They didn't hear the questions laughing in the aftermath. Nobody saw me grow in the rooms without applause. Nobody watched me learning all the principles and laws that govern what it means to build a thing from scratch, to love the process even when the process doesn't catch the eye of any critic with a platform or a name. Nobody saw me grow, but I grew all the same. They see the version standing in the sun, but no one counts the miles that led to this. Nobody saw me grow. Nobody watched me change. Nobody saw the mornings weird and strange. Nobody saw the notebook full of dead ends and rewrites. Nobody saw me grinding through 1,000 quiet nights. But I grew, Lord, I grew in the dark where no one sees. I grew without the spotlight and without the guarantee. Nobody saw me grow. The growth was happening still, and now I stand on top of every single hill. I didn't need the witness to become the thing I am. I didn't need the audience to execute the plan. I showed up for myself when nobody else would show. I gave myself the reasons and the courage for the growth. The seasons turned and I turned with them faithfully. The mornings came and I was there consistently, building something brick by brick without a celebration, building something patient as a quiet conversation. And the version standing here today is every unseen morning that I paid. Nobody saw me grow. Nobody watched me change. Nobody saw the mornings weird and strange. Nobody saw the notebook full of dead ends and rewrites. Nobody saw me grinding through 1,000 quiet nights. But I grew, Lord, I grew in the top of every single hill. Cause growth doesn't need an audience to be true. Growth doesn't need a witness to come through. The tree grows in the forest and the roots don't need a crowd. The river cuts the canyon, quiet, patient, proud. So I'll keep growing quietly with grace. I'll keep becoming everything in this unseen place. Nobody saw me grow. Nobody watched me change. Nobody saw the mornings weird and strange. Nobody saw the notebook full of dead ends and rewrites. Nobody saw me grinding through 1,000 quiet nights. But I grew, Lord, I grew in the dark when no one sees. I grew without the spotlight and without the guarantee. Nobody saw me grow, but growth was happening still. And now I stand on top of every single hill. Nobody saw me grow. Nobody needed to. I grew for me, and that was more than true. I grew in every room and every quiet year. Nobody saw me grow, but I've been growing here. The last light on the building going dark. I'm still inside. Everyone already left before the mark. I stayed behind. Not out of duty, just the way the hours fall. When you love it, the city at this hour doesn't feel small, it feels infinite. I clock out at the dawn when others wake. That's the exchange. I live inside the hours they don't see. This is the time that's building into me. Clocking out at dawn when the world is just waking up. I've been in for hours, filling up my cup. Clocking out at dawn, I've already met the day in the quiet space before the noise comes into play. They'll sleep and I'll have already won the morning light. They'll rise and I'll have already finished half the fight. Clocking out at dawn, it's a different kind of proud, the kind that doesn't need to be announced out loud. I've watched the city shift from dark to pale, 1,000 mornings just like this. The traffic thin and thickens like a tail behind the sun's first kiss. And I have sat inside the window of the world before the curtain rises, and known the secret that gets quietly unfurled for those who seek surprises in the ordinary gift of early time that's mine to keep. The hours before 9 belong to those who stay. I live inside that unremarkable delay. Clocking out at dawn when the world is just waking up. I've been in for hours, filling up my cup. Clocking out at dawn, I've already met the day in the quiet space before the noise comes into play. They'll sleep and I'll have already won the morning light. They'll rise and I'll have already finished half the fight. Clocking out at dawn, and it's a different kind of proud, the kind that doesn't need to be announced out loud. It's not about the grind, it's about the love of finding something bigger, calling from above. The ordinary magic of a thing worth chasing, of showing up again when no one else is racing. So I clock out at dawn, not to boast the time, but because this is where I find the rhyme. Clocking out at dawn, when the world is just waking up. I've been in for hours, filling up my cup. Clocking out at dawn, I've already met the day in the quiet space before the noise comes into play. They'll sleep and I'll have already won the morning light. They'll rise and I'll have already finished half the fight. Clocking out at dawn, it's a different kind of proud, the kind that doesn't need to be announced out loud. Clocking out at dawn, the city wakes below. I put my coat on, let the rest of the world flow. I'll be back again tomorrow in this chair, clocking out at dawn when most aren't even there. There's a funny thing about the way we know. Before we know it. The body takes a step before the mind can show the logic to oppose it. I had the apartment and the measured life arranged, all the answers organized and labeled in exchange for something that looked careful and correct on every page. But my feet kept walking to a different kind of stage. I didn't plan to leave, I didn't plan to stay. My feet just knew the direction of the way. My feet knew before I did which road was mine. They carried me to mornings I hadn't yet designed. My feet knew before I did what my heart was building toward. They moved me through the doubt and found the thing I was working for. My feet knew before I did that this was where I'd bloom. They walked me through the dark and into every open room. My feet knew before I did, they always seemed to know. I just had to trust the direction and let go. I remember standing at the junction of the choice. I had the reasoned argument prepared, but somewhere underneath the calculations voice was a knowing that had always been right there. My feet were already moving toward the door before my brain had caught up to the score. And when I finally followed where they led, the map inside my body had been read. I didn't need the certainty before I moved. My feet had already walked it and approved. My feet knew before I did which road was mine. They carried me to mornings I hadn't yet designed. My feet knew before I did what my heart was building toward. They moved me through the doubt and found the thing I was working for. My feet knew before I did that this was where I'd bloom. They walked me through the dark and into every open room. My feet knew before I did, they always seemed to know. I just had to trust the direction and let go. There's an older wisdom in the way we move that the thinking mind is never quite approved. The gut, the body, and the instincts pour, sometimes so much more than analytical. So when your feet are taking you somewhere new, maybe trust the motion that is already true. My feet knew before I did which road was mine. looking for. My feet knew before I did that this was where I'd bloom. They walked me through the dark and into every open room. My feet knew before I did, they always seemed to know. I just had to trust the direction and let go. Now I'm standing where I never thought I'd stand, with gratitude in every single part of my hand. My feet knew before I did, they led me right. My feet knew before I did, and they were right.